going to call this shot the ride along. Just getting a little oil on the shaft. Okay, it's pretty well coated. Putting on the fan. Alright, here we go for the ride along. we're getting ready to turn on our shaft here. We're basically going to be taking this down to 50 millimeters for our length right here. Pretty simple, straightforward cutting. So I got to thinking, hey, I know my bits that I normally run, how much they can handle, and you've seen that on the tracer attachment there, how much I pushed it with the Aquamet material. We're going to try, and I still have this insert here that Adam sent up here for us to test out, and I'm still on one cutting edge, and it still looks in good shape. So I'm going to go ahead and change this out with what I have right here. At least I just cleaned my chip bed there. When you got a pile of chips, sometimes an insert or a wrench goes down in there. You could spend some time looking for it, and I'm glad I didn't have to do that. All right. It really still looks good, so I don't really know which one, but I'm going to take it to that one right there. And all right, we're tight. I'm just going to put this other one back into this holder here. So we got something in it ready to go. I use this one over, this is my regular holder I use over here in the tracer attachment if I'm using a DNMP, and then I usually turn the compound a little bit to that side there. This one here I take out of one of my other holders, my DeLorean's, the CA1 holder that I have. This normally mounts in that. Alright, I think we're good to go here. Juice here on. I usually take 50,000s at this speed rate right here, which is about 17. That wasn't a bit. We're going to have a little bit of vibration problem at that speed there, so we're going to try another combination. Alright, we slowed down our speed a little bit. We kept the feed. On our next cut here, we're going to probably try to take more as far as the depth to make up the difference and how slow we're traveling across here. But that is breaking the chip real nice, and you can see that that's crisp right in that area leaving the cut, so it's not rolling over a burr. And they are breaking real nice. So we're going to be letting this run for a while. And this will be a drawn out process. Just to get 2 straight shanks, 50 millimeters on diameter for, we need 27 and an eighth or 27 and a quarter, somewhere around in there. We have a little bit extra on the link here that we'll be modifying and cutting off here when we're ready to. I'm noticing this surface getting frosty, so I'm going to go ahead and index this to where I know we're on a good leading edge here. That was 50 thousandths on the depth there. Yep, yeah. Oh. Pretty warm. Air cools them down pretty fast. Alright, so we're going to turn this around. We're going to blow the hole out here first. Okay. We know we got a new edge here now. Just because I want to push it, I want to try 100 thousandths on the depth here. And at the feed rate we're running. And see if we can blow some metal off of this thing. Actually 101. Alright, here we go. Alright, we've been chugging away. I think, let's see what we got here. Forget if it was 3 or 4 cuts here. We went 100 at a pass. There's 4 cuts. This is the final cut here just to rough it down to size, and this will be 25 thousandths, and it'll still leave us a little bit to finish up. Basically, we have a bearing diameter up here, and a bearing diameter down here close. We're not sure what we want to do down in this area right here, so I kind of left myself a little bit of material. We're going to take this cut, we're going to get the other one in there, and we're just going to get the material hogged off. Okay, just touching. 25. Okay, there we go, and let's just make a quick check here. Alright, 1 inch 9, 88, 89, somewhere right around in there. And we got 1 inch 9, 95 or so. So we got about 4,000, 5,000 taper from end to end. Alright, that's not important at this time because we're still about 20 thousandths over. What I need now is, because I know it's over there, and I need to pull this holder out. We're all done with the tracer attachment for right now, and we can set our components over there. And is that the holder? I think that's all I had that in. I use this holder secondary as far as getting into severe angles, but also going ahead and using it to break the chamfer edges. Now, I'm not bothering putting it at any other special angle. I just want to break that sharp edge there, break the sharp one down here, and then we're going to change out what the next part is. All right. First cut on the second part. We've already marked our line up here, so we're all set. We touched off, we coated with oil. 100,000 on the jet. Here we go. This is the same insert, same edge that we did the last two passes on the other side. And it's still doing fine. Looking in the back of the lathe there, you can see how true the small end is running. This ISCAR tool bit just keeps on cranking. I think this is like its 7th pass.